Hello, hello, hello. We are truly live here in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly excited to be here today. Give me 1 second and I'm going to make sure that Instagram is live over there. Unfortunately, Instagram does not allow us to go live. We have to push the button over here in order to go live. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am truly excited to be here. We are live on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We are live, and I am excited to be here with you all. My name, of course, is Martha Cooper-Hudson, and I am here. I am joined today with some of my amazing girlfriends. That's right. Now, this is a place and a space I don't allow everyone to navigate in. However, we decided to open up our house and let you guys come in. And so before we get started today, I want to introduce two of my dearest friends. Now, there's about six strong and one possible. So if you know anything about spades, we got a possible in that space as well. But there are about six strong in my space, and I will cut. Okay, no, I won't. I'm sorry. I won't cut anybody. But I will protect those six individuals with my life, and they know that. And so before we get started into this conversation today, I want to introduce, first and foremost, I'm gonna go to the one who's known me the longest. And now you see her name is Tess on the screen, right? But she is Maisha all day to me. Understand? Because I met her in 1994 on the yards of the South Carolina State University, as we were both psychology majors in that space. Hey, greetings, sissy. How are you? And we were psychology majors in that space. And I said, when she walked past me one day in the psychology building, I said, OMG, this girl walked just as hard as I do on a pair of heels. And I looked and I said, well, we need to become friends. We were in a class, our friendship grew organically. That was 1994. We are still in each other's lives. And when I say that I value the friendship that she brings to this table and the friendship that she brings to my life, it is an understatement in this space, because her friendship to me is priceless. And I cannot pay enough money for the friendship that we had. So that's my girl. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about herself in a moment. Now, most of you know the woman that I'm about to introduce to you. Why do you know her? Because she's the hot sauce to my fish. She's the peanut butter to this jelly. She is my ride or die, my friend who we have been in each other's lives now for 18 years. So I got 94 and I got 18 years. And my other girlfriends, they have the G4, G5 clearances. They can't show their faces. I don't need you to know who they are, because when we do extensive background checks, we do them well. And so I can't let you guys know my secret weapons in that space, but just know that my other girlfriends are as loyal, as dedicated, as ride or die as these two here today. So before we get into our conversation, I want to definitely let everyone who's joining in from Facebook, from Instagram, from YouTube, I want you all to know that we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We just wanted to come in and really celebrate us, celebrate friendship, celebrate the love that a strong sister circle gives you. And so we're going to talk about a few things today. We won't be, as the Baptist church would say, before you long, but we are going to have a great conversation today. And before we get started, Maisha, I want you to just share a little bit about yourself and say hello to the audience.
Well, good evening, and thank you for the introduction. It's been a pleasure being her friend, and I can't imagine my life without Martha. And I've known her since she
I'm
was
not Martha to you. I'm not Martha to
Coop,
you.
Coop,
There we
Coop
go.
dog, Coop
Okay.
dog. Go
Yes.
Bulldogs.
Yes.
I'm hailing you from Montclair, New Jersey. Every time I hit Charlotte, I find this young lady because she is my spiritual war leader. Anytime I need a kind conversation, I need some support, Martha Coop Dog is there for me. It is a pleasure being here tonight to share my friendship with her. I would do it for no other than Coop Dog. But I'm just glad to be here and ready for the questions and conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then we're gonna move on over. I'm gonna do the electric slide on over to my BFF, my ride or die chick, Miss Adrienne Middleton. So,
Yeah.
Adrienne, come on in and share a little bit about yourself, who you are.
Hey, everybody. It is so good to be here this evening to share this space with these phenomenal, extraordinary women. I'm so excited to be here. Um, I've known Martha, as she said, for 18 years since our beautiful son, Mason, I call him my mater tot, was in pull ups, Pampers. So we've been together for the long haul. And as Maisha said, Martha is just a giving, caring, sweet, sweet spirit. We do have that thuggish, ruggish bone in us because we all came through the yard of South Carolina State University.
Yes, indeed.
So again, go Bulldogs! But it's just exciting to be here to pull back the curtains so that we share some insights into how we make it do what it do in this space of just powerful women who love and support one another, who empower one another, who shine a light on one another, who just continue to encourage each other to go higher and higher and higher. And so, to share that amazing gift with others is our absolute pleasure to be here tonight. So let's get into it, y'all.
All right, all right. So we're gonna get into the conversations, but if you're out there, make sure that you drop a comment so that we can. If you have any questions, if you want to know any answers to a question, please do not hesitate and put those in inside of the comment box, and we'll get those, and we'll watch those, and we'll see those there. So, ladies, Maisha, Adrian, now we're all professionals in our space. Those who know me, they know that I'm a financial advisor. They know that I'm the CEO of Rediscover Her. Those who know you, they understand you. They know that you are I'm not gonna mess up your title. You share with them what you do from a professional perspective, please.
I am what's called a specialized equity trader. So I focus on C-suite executives who need to liquidate or sell um, their concentration of stocks, usually issued as a compensation through their companies, and we do it in accordance to the SEC requirements. So it's algorithm based, and it's very interesting work. And so I've been doing this now for 2 years. Prior to that, I was in wealth management, international wealth management, covering most English speaking countries as they correlate to tax benefits. So the tax treaty between Canada and the Caribbean, and then areas like the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Germany, Greece, and Russia.
Uh-huh. So see, Coop Dog got some smart friends. Oh, praise God, they can count my money, Lord. Okay, okay, perfect. But
And
now,
I'd like to
go
add
ahead.
one thing too,
Go ahead.
though that the common denominator here is South Carolina State, and one of the beautiful phrases that has been birthed from our recent galas at South Carolina State is that you can get anywhere from here. And
And
I
you
think we're
can
all proof of that. We're all proof of that. So go Bulldogs.
go Bulldogs. I am going to I'm gonna let them keep it a little proper, and then I'm gonna be Coop tonight. Okay, this is a side you guys don't see of me much because I am really in that space in front of the camera, in front of most people. This is the side that they get from me all the time. And
Mhm.
so I decided that tonight I would be who I am when I'm with my girlfriends, minus a few things, but to so that you all can truly see Martha in that space. And so, Adrian, please share with them, what do you do for a living?
I am an educator by profession. So I'm a 30-year, not a classroom teacher anymore. I'm a state level administrator. So I work with school districts in high poverty areas. I happen to work with schools that are in the bottom 5% of Title I schools in the state of South Carolina. So I get the privilege of working with district personnel and school level administrators to really take a deep dive into our student data so we can come up with some goals and strategies to help our students do better in the state of South Carolina. I'm also, I guess you could say, a serial entrepreneur um, because I'm a singer, songwriter, I'm an author, I'm a vegan chef, I have a couple of businesses, two nonprofits. So I'm just an extremely, extremely busy woman.
Yes,
I
yes,
love
and I
it.
love it. I love it. So thank you for that. And my baby says, "Hey, mama. Hey, aunties." She love her
Hey!
rich aunties. She do love her rich aunties. Honey. Listen, and so we're gonna get in this conversation this evening tonight. And one of the things that I want to talk about, because we talk about this often, we talk about the importance of the strength within our circles. We talk about the importance of being blessed because everyone doesn't have what we have when we truly have true friends who are
Mhm.
there, that are non judgmental, who are there to support you, to lift you, to strengthen you, and to also give you a checkup from the neck up. Everyone doesn't have that. So let's talk about why it's important to have that strength within that circle of individuals you call your friends. And what does that look like and mean to both of you? My
I would s- I would say for me the importance is really it's the fuel that keeps me going. There's nothing better than to have support from someone that looks like you, sounds like you, thinks like you. And I think that what makes our relationship so unique is that we can be honest with each other. We can check each other from the neck up, but we can also celebrate each other. And
That's
I
right.
think that is the genuine ability to celebrate other women is critical, and it tells the story, right? Because there are some that you've been friends with or thought that were your friends, and they can't really fully genuinely celebrate your success.
Yep.
right,
That's a red flag, right? And I think the
right,
longevity we have in our relationship from so far away is that we celebrate each other, we
right,
That's right.
honor each other, we appreciate each other, and we're not calling for a particular reason. We're just calling to say hello
that's
and
right,
sharing ideas, and we want all of us to win. And
that's
I
right.
think that is critical for friendships, particularly with women. We have to, and I say this all the time when I see a beautiful woman that looks great, I tell her, "You look great." It doesn't take anything from me. And I think that Martha and I have had such a great friendship. Number one, she has a sense of humor that just, it keeps you. You want to hear it, you want to talk to her, and it makes things digestible. And that's the type of support that everyone needs. Someone that can help you work through your darkest moments and realize that it's a lot more digestible and have a foundation of God's word to support you in it. And I thank you for that more than I could ever express.
Yeah, that's very powerful there because you've hit on several things in that space and why it's important. Going just picking up the phone because you drop in my spirit
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
just to say, "Hey, listen, you dropped in my spirit. I need to know how you're doing today." And just from that moment, or calling and saying, "Hey, listen, I need some advice in this space. I'm not having a good day. I'm losing my mind. The children, they're acting as if I didn't raise them, and they're doing things in that space. What do I do?" And I'm able to call and lean in on my girlfriends to give me the advice. To even, especially Adrian, she's gonna say, "Now listen, Hudson, listen, Hudson.
Right, right.
You know you can be
Mm-hmm.
very strong, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the words that come out of your mouth can be very, very powerful when you say them, right? So, what I'm gonna need you to do is do like the word says. I'm gonna need you to be slow to speak. I'm gonna need you to be slow to say anything, and I'm gonna need you to be quick to listen. And then I'm gonna need you to swallow a couple of times
Yeah.
before you
Yeah.
let it come out.
That's
And
right.
that to me is very powerful. And she doesn't care whether or not I'm getting upset because that's not what I want to hear. She's gonna say to me, "Okay, you can have a moment, but you can't take all day. You can't, I will not give you the entire day." So with that, I love that because sometimes people get offended
Yes.
when when your friend group is not agreeing with the craziness that you're doing in your space, and you want them to pour all in, yeah, girl, you right. If I was you, I would. If I was you, I would do this. No, ma'am, girl, I wouldn't let this happen. And in that space, you are very quick to say, now hold on, Hudson, I'm gonna need you to hold on for a moment, and
Mhm.
then I'm gonna need you to get that right. And so what does that look like from a friendship perspective, Adrian? What does that look like? Because we have been
Yeah,
through it all.
we
And
have.
two of us on here, we have been through it all.
We
And
have.
what does that look like in your life? And what does that mean to really have those true, authentic relationships in your life?
That's it. Wow, that's so powerful. Everything you all have said has just been so explosive, right? And has the potential to really ignite the change that people want to see in their lives. And when I think about the core, the thread of all of it, it is you need people around you to help you see yourself, right?
Yes, that's right.
That's so, so, so important. And Maisha, you said some people don't have this. And I think for women, it's we don't have it because we don't want it. We're not ready for it
That
yet,
part.
right?
Hmm.
Because when we're on this journey to be our best and highest version of ourselves, there are some things that will have to fall away.
Yeah.
So I think about that support that we provide to one another. I think about the way that we help to make each other's lives better. That's what it means to me. That's what
Hmm.
we're called to do, to make our lives better, to help us each and every day, to do that checkup, to do that check in, to be honest with one another. I heard both of you say that, right? That's so, so, so important. Now, the piece of it that's critical is knowing how to deliver that so that you're in a position to receive it,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Knowing you well enough to know how to craft my words so that I know when it lands,
That's right.
because you get quiet
That's right.
and you say, let me just take it in. Okay, I
Mhm.
need to take some notes, right? Right?
Right. I pull
But
out a pen and a piece of paper
right.
because
And that
I'm not always right.
and right.
That's right.
And I think the part that's so beautiful is we hold space for that. We give
Yes.
each other that grace, right?
Yes.
Over judgment,
Yeah.
regardless of what we've gone through. And we have been through it all. The highs
Liz.
and the lows, right?
Yes.
So that really helping you to see yourself, helping you to achieve your goals, that feeling of joy and excitement when we're all winning. You said the same thing, Maisha. When we're all winning, it
We said,
feels good.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. You know there's something powerful that happens when we get together. And
Listen.
it doesn't even have to be a serious thing. Just getting together to laugh and, as we say in Orangeburg, cut the fool, right?
That's right.
Just to
That's
get
right.
together to cut the it's amazing and it's powerful and it is always life changing.
That's
And
right.
that's the beautiful piece about embracing this kind of relationship.
There's one thing that I've always said. Hey, Bishop Jackie, mwah, I love you out there.
Hey,
How are you, Bishop Jackie? Hey, Jamore, thank you for joining in. Thank you, cuz I love you for joining in today. Hey, Sissy, we must do lunch really soon. But one of the things that I know for sure is, ladies, by ourselves, we can make a thump, but together, we can make a mighty noise. And so often we are so willing to ride by ourselves, because I am not sure if it's because we don't trust ourselves in a group of friendships. Are we bringing what we need in order to cultivate and have some of the relationships that we want and desire? Have we been scorned and hurt to the point to where we have unforgiveness in our heart because this woman betrayed our friendship, that we are not willing to allow other women in that space? What I can share with you, that in my space and everyone that's connected in my space with me, as Maisha would say, we celebrate each
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
other. We do not wish any ill will on anyone
that's
in
right.
our space. We are not intimidated by another powerful woman. We get even more excited to see another powerful sister sitting next to us. And then to know that our candle
Mm,
never loses
mm.
its flame by lighting another sister's candle. So when you give out a compliment, when you celebrate your sister, when you uplift your sister, when you tell the world that your sister have done something great, your candle just got brighter.
That's right.
Now you got another candle that's out there lit for you and with you and in that same purpose. But so often we're so intimidated. You know,
Mm,
my mom said to me something years ago, the very things, the very characteristics, and the very things that people dislike about you, they dislike about you because they wish that they had that particular characteristic in their life. They wish that they had that particular oomph there, or whatever that light, whatever that thing is. And it's sad because there's so much space, Maisha, for everybody to be in this room celebrating. That is why when you are around me and we are together, no matter who you are, that atmosphere has to be positive. We got to add and multiply in women's lives. And anyone who subtract and divide, they got to go. We kick them right on
That
out of
part.
this. Poof, be gone. Poof, be gone. Because at our in our lives and at our age, we don't have time for it.
that's right.
Because when you're a GAW, you become authentically who you are. And
Right.
we're going to talk about that because we're going to shift to the authentic you. You become authentically who you are. You become unapologetic in that space. You stand in your power. You uplift someone else because that takes nothing away from you. And you walk in all of your goodness, all of your greatness. You also walk in those things that's not so great. But the difference between a GAW and people who are just, I like to say, tell a story, telling those lies, selling those lies to themselves to keep them right where they are, those women never grow in those spaces and they can't become authentically who they are. And they can't become good friends to, because they're not good to themselves. They can't become good friends to anyone else. Maisha, you
Mhm.
and I, we were on the phone the other day talking, and you were talking about, you said, Coop, I really love the place and space that I am in now.
Wow, that's awesome.
That you took that time from a heartbreak, from disappointments, and all of the above. You took that time to rediscover Maisha Tess Fizime.
Hmm.
And now you absolutely love that space. Who is that new person that you took the time to rediscover in this journey?
Well, I don't know if it's because I turned 50 or what, but
So that's part of
um,
your
Hmm.
you two P's. Okay, you it is over.
listen, what I will say is this, I think that everybody isn't ready for the same journey, right?
Right.
Right.
And I think what is common amongst all of us, other than being in a fantastic sorority and going to a fantastic university, is culturally, I think there's a difference. I think because we've always had to do the work, it forces us to be a little bit more introspective. So not only hearing it from Adrienne and Coop, but also looking at ourselves and deciding we want to be better for ourselves.
That's right.
And that makes a significant difference because then it prepares you to welcome and honor and cherish and celebrate other women like you. You're not deflecting your insecurities to other women because you're too scared to do what they're doing. And I think that
Mm,
you have to be very careful because there are some women who at first present as though they're really genuinely, happy for you, but they're really there to pick you apart and they're really there to try and deter you from the
that's
things
right.
that you know to be true about yourself.
That's
And I
right.
think that I had insecurities just like everybody else growing up,
Mhm.
going through college, going through heartbreak. Your body changes and you have to work through all of those things. But at some point, you draw a line and you say, I know this to be true about myself.
That's right.
And I know this to be good about myself. And when I do those things and when I'm honest with myself, I feel peace.
That's
And it's
right.
like wash, rinse, repeat. That's what I
Mm,
want for myself. And guess what? I now recognize it's like a new vision, right? You now recognize who are the women that are similar to that philosophy. And it doesn't take a lot of work because all the others will fall apart. And I say it all the time. People see your glory, but they don't know your story. And
Yep.
they
Mm,
make gross assumptions, which again puts them in the outbox because it's
that's right.
like, I know what point you're coming from. I've already been there. I've already worked through that, and I don't want it. Now,
That's right.
if you're prepared to be in the same space of peace, I welcome you.
That's
But
right.
other than that, I've got to protect my peace, and I'm unapologetic. And I think that's the word that's probably overused, but I am unapologetically me. And I
That's right.
love who I am. I love the decisions I make. I love the mistakes I make. I love how I recover from those mistakes. So you had to find that foundation of loving yourself as you are, and then embracing women who are similar to that. And that support just magnifies what you already know to be true.
That's right. You attract who you are,
That's
no
right.
Right,
matter what. You
right.
want to know who a person really is? Look
Hmm.
at the people that's surrounding them, because
Hmm.
they are exactly like the people that's surrounding them. And so
Right.
they can in back in the day, we would say they could fake the funk,
Hmm.
but their friend circle really tells the truth. So
Yep.
always be alert in how people and who they have around them. Adrian, I saw you were bursting on the inside.
Yeah.
And come on in, girl.
I was just because I was reflecting on our journey, and it's just
Mm,
amazing how, as I'm sitting here processing this conversation, the words are coming forth from you all. Again, it's that alignment, and I think about a comment that I made at the beginning of our conversation about being ready for this kind of
mhm.
relationship, this kind of fellowship. And in a lot of instances, there has been fractured trust. Trust has been fractured so many times. I was going back through some of our archives, Martha,
Mhm.
and I'm looking at one of our international events that we put on. And I'm looking at pictures of women that sat beside me and did the selfies.
That's right.
And I'll just say borrowed without our consent and
Yes,
built entire platforms on our intellectual property, right?
that's right. That's
So
right.
we saw certain behaviors. They were there, hey, yeah, girl, giving us the atta girls.
Hmm.
But we saw behaviors, but their motives were not pure,
That's
right?
right.
And so think about what makes us work. It is our heart's posture. It is the
Yeah,
fact that our motives are aligned with our behaviors.
yeah.
And when we see that stuff in other women, we it's fight or flight.
That's right.
I'm gonna try not to throw these hands. So guess what?
Right.
I'm leave. I'm gonna leave, right? And so,
Did you just say
so
you're gonna try not to throw?
I'm gonna try
Amen.
not to throw these
Right.
hands,
There we go.
right?
There we go.
And so, it's try Jesus, but don't try
No problem.
me, right?
Okay. There we go.
Because again, that orange bug is it's in me that it's, and so I think about our journey, and I think about the beautiful
Mm,
fellowship that we have, and the way that we can continue to grow and continue to inspire growth, and the way
mhm.
we can be ears and shoulders for one another, and not withhold, right?
Right.
Not feel
Right.
like we have to present a facade. We can
Right.
bring it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the down, the dirty, the glorious, right? Like all of it is okay. That's a beautiful thing to be in. And I think once we get that clarity that you're talking about,
Mhm.
Maisha, then you will attract more of
Hmm.
that.
Yes.
The law of attraction works by deliberation or by default. So
That's
you
right.
Yep.
better be deliberate and intentional about who you are and what it is that you wish
Yeah.
to attract in your life. If you want those ride or die, those real ride or die
Yeah.
friends, you really have to
And
get crystal clear.
I've also felt like my most powerful characteristic is my silence and my absence.
Mm.
And when you're in
Mm,
a space where you're happy and you are certain about who
Yeah.
you are and what you want, and you have that group of women who you know are genuinely in your
Yeah.
corner,
yep.
I don't need to argue with anybody. I don't need to convince you. I'm out.
That's it.
I'm out. And that again goes back to those who are insecure who will find you because they want what you have,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and they just don't know how to get there.
Hmm.
And a
Right.
lot of people want stuff without doing the work.
You see
And
that
all of us have done the work.
That's right.
that one. And doing the work, we have. I was having a conversation today. Met an amazing young woman. But she and I, we had lunch. We had lunch today. We immediately clicked. at the event that I went to. One of our sorors, just in case you don't know, we are all members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ooh! But okay, I didn't mean to do that, but okay, then all right, let them know. But with that being said, I met this particular young lady at an event that was hosted by a Galantine event that was hosted by our soror Dominique, and we're sitting next to each other. And I'm telling you, when you're beating on the same rhythm in that room, those who were beating on that rhythm automatically found me. If I walked past them or said something to them, they felt that rhythm in that space and they wanted to know more. And so we met today for lunch. And when I tell you, I understand why the divine connection happened, because our rhythm was the same.
Mhm.
And just sitting there, shedding tears, sharing our stories over, we understood why God connected us at that event a couple of weeks ago and why we had to have lunch with each other, because it was that core thing that drew us together, the authenticity of who we were, the willingness to celebrate everyone in that room just as loud as if they were celebrating me or her, just uplifting the sisters. It's hard, especially as a woman of color, because what they say is we can't be together without mess, right? That when you
Mhm.
see a bunch of us together, there's always something else that's going on. Well, I say that's different, because when we get together, whether it's 5 of us or 500 of us, it can be a room, Adrian, of strangers that walk in. But by the time the connection catalyst open her mouth and pull them together, after the event is over, they are now friends forever, following each other, meeting each other, enjoying each other's company, because women do not believe that an environment like that can exist. And it does. And that to me gets me excited, because I'm getting excited now, because, events are coming. Events are coming. Events are coming. Events are coming. And it's
Well, you
coming.
think about it. You think about it historically, and you have we've been conditioned to think that there can't be more than one of us in a room,
Right.
especially if you're a pioneer in your respective industry. And
Yes.
so we have that initial mindset: is that woman going to be genuine? Is she going to be cool? But we have to leave space, like we said before, for that potential. And not everybody has the confidence to do that. That's harder than it seems.
Yes.
So I think that that's where, the conditioning has to be sort of turned over, and you have to practice it. You have to practice giving that compliment to a woman that you don't know,
Yeah.
even if she doesn't receive it very well.
Right.
But it's what you should do, right?
Yeah.
And she may think about it later. And that little bit of time, that little word that you said to her could be very impactful in whatever her
That's
day
right.
brings her.
Yes. Very
Yeah.
much so. Adrian, you was about to say something in that
I
space.
just again, it's so powerful when you have arrived at that place of self assuredness
Mhm.
that you're not threatened by the beauty or the whatever it is that's like, wow, that caught my eye. To be, it's
Mhm.
not taking anything away from you to give that compliment or to offer that encouragement, or to again to be those ears and shoulders, and to even if the woman is not in a position to receive it yet, and she
Yeah.
has not yet accepted all the fabulousness that she is, right? If she can't see her yet,
Yeah.
just
No.
just that little bit, that gentle nudge in that direction, I think is what makes this life so sweet and so delicious every day, right? We get to just feast on that if we want to.
All of
Giving, 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 because the more that we give, the more of it is going to be amplified and it's going to
that's right.
grow. And it is, I think, to some degree incumbent upon us to, because Sankofa is really, really big, big for me. The reaching back, the principle of reaching back while moving forward, the the
Right.
the, the principle of, I heard I heard a quote that said, the principle of Sankofa makes history a current event because we're always thinking about where we came from, right? So when we
Right.
think about who we were as women and how we were not to be seen,
Mm,
um, how we were not acknowledged in a lot of ways.
mhm.
Think about the cultural and social context of the way that our psyches have been shaped in this country,
Right.
Mhm.
particularly as women of color. To be able to disrupt that is so powerful. It is so beautiful. It's so sweet. You'll hear me say it's so delicious. I love it. And to be a part of it and to walk out this journey on this
Yeah,
planet with y'all is
that's right.
amazing. I can't
That's right.
wait for other women to feast on it, to just bask in it, to bathe in it, to just be steeped in it.
That's
I
right.
think the time is now. Women are ripe and ready for that. But
Yeah.
we are we are trailblazers in that way. We are pioneers in that way that we are showing them. Yes, it really can happen. You don't have to be afraid. Open
Mm-mm.
yourself to it, and once you get crystal clear, you'll attract exactly what you need to be in that beautiful, amazing, self-assured space.
Absolutely. No, I love it. And, when I think about some of my imperfections, blessed, my mom, my side of the family, slim waist, thick in your face, right? That is what I was blessed with, right? And so when I laugh with Drina, I can mention her name. When I laugh with her, and she put on her little, if we're riding in the hot girl mobile, um, and yeah, right, if we're riding in the slingshot, but it's a slingini that she's converted her slingshot over in. Yes, it looks like a Lamborghini coming down the street till you get on the side and you realize it's a motorcycle. But I live vicariously through her because I want one too. But no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna let Adrian get one. She got one. My girlfriend's got it. Then that means I can ride shotgun or ride it and drive it. But when she puts on her, Drina is that one that's in shape. She is that retired Marine. She got the body that's tight, that's right. And she put those little jean shorts on.
Yes.
She put them little jean shorts on. And and then I laugh because my shorts got to go down to my knees. Cause all of this here, I'm jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. I'm jiggling, baby. And all of that's showing, and I realize and recognize that. But I'm like, boy, this is a bad chick with these shorts down to her knees right now. You understand me? I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, and everybody ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Cause if I put on one of those little dookies, those dukes, y'all may talk about me, but it's okay. But y'all won't be ready in that space. But I accept all of me, and that takes a grown woman to do that. All of my imperfections, I accept those in that space. I accept my hurts. You guys have seen some vulnerable sides of Martha over the years. Maisha, you've been with me before. I was cool when my last name was Cooper.
Fort Pierce.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm from the city that takes no pity. Understand that, and just because I'm educated, I'm professional. When you see me, I am going to be suited and booted always. When I open my mouth, I am going, as I tell my kids, because they can only go to the White House and survive. But you can take me to the hood or you can take me to the White House. And either way it goes, I will survive, right? But with that being said, when we start to really think about girlfriends being there to really help us transition through loss, through tragedy, to changes, in our lives, to have those that can accept every part of you, to allow you to cry, to allow you to scream, to allow you to use words that even at 54, my mama has never heard me use before, to allow you to honor, to acknowledge your weaknesses, to honor your strengths, and never, because when we pick up the phone to call each other, like Adrian don't know anything about what you've ever said to me. Maisha. Maisha doesn't know anything about what Adrian has ever said to me. Drina, Persephone's Tanja, Wendy, Kim Marie, none of them know anything about what each other have shared with me because I'm that one. You're that one. And we're able to be vulnerable in these spaces. And God knows we've been through some things. And when you start to look at, Maisha, one of the things you used to you're always saying, especially when it comes down to the children, especially when they were younger. And Maisha would say, Coop, I promise you, you got Tourette's, girl, because we could be having a very intelligent conversation. We're talking about something, and then I just hold on, snap, make sure the kids are doing what they're supposed to do, and then we're back. I'm back. Okay, girl, go ahead. Yeah, that's exactly what you said. And then when Mason would come through one more time, I may have to late touch him. I may just have to touch him with the right hand of fellowship. And then when I touch him, then I come back and we're again. And you would always say, Coop, you are the only person that can come back to where you stop, handled your business, and pick back up on that conversation really quickly. But we know what it means to support each other. And just because you said something, Maisha, earlier, people see the glory, but they have no clue of your story. People want to be you, but can't handle the shoes. They can't walk in the shoes that God created for you. They wouldn't be able to handle it. They wouldn't be able to last. And so, when we think about our journeys and that support from a strength perspective, how do you, when you look at your friendships and you look at, hey, we have friends in places that we know, and what your friends can handle and what they can't. So you share what they can with the ones that can handle it. And then you go, if it's too deep for the ones to handle it, then you go to that other friend that's there. How important is it for you to know that no matter what I've shared with them, they don't judge me? They give me 100% true advice, and I never hear it again unless it's something that I brought up to them. How important is that for you?
I would say very important. I mean, as a matter of fact, to the point that Adrian made was that you take from our group and you're able to celebrate others. You're able to hopefully give to others what you've received in your friendship. I'm part of a Montclair single moms group here, and the group is always turning over because it's for those who are heading into divorce and those that are through it. And so we have a subset of friends from that group. There's 8 of us, and when we are on the streets, it's trouble. Like we have just a great time, but we've gone through the journey. We're on the other side of it. We're all the better for it,
Right.
and so the energy reflects that. And it was funny because we had a situation last summer where we were out at one of these places where you bring wine and food, and we were having such a great time. This young girl comes up to us, leaves her boyfriend at the table, and just needed to know who we are and why we were so happy.
That's it.
And we explained that to her. Now, conversely, there's some women in the group who aren't finished, who are still struggling in their space,
Yeah.
and you have to welcome them while
Mhm.
also managing them too. Because some of them are feeding off of other people's blood and journey, and you have to recognize that hurt people,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you have to decide if that's someone that you want to help support through the end and that they're going to get it and they're going to be all the better for it, or those where you just have to be silent and walk away or keep your
Hmm.
distance from. So I think that for me, the importance of having a friendship is that it gives me encouragement to be my better self outside of a friendship. So when I talk to Coop, when I land in Charlotte, I always try to find her. We're gonna break bread somewhere,
Yeah.
because wherever I'm headed afterwards, I feel even more empowered since I've seen her. And there's moments when nothing is wrong. I'm happy and peaceful, and I just need to hear the good word from her.
Yeah.
Because not only is it the tough stuff that your girlfriend support, but it's also just showing gratitude.
Mhm.
Gratitude is hugely important as individuals, but also in our collective girlfriend space.
Yeah.
That's the strength. Me being able to say, I'm grateful for this moment, and I just want to share it with you. And my girlfriend being able to say, I'm grateful for you and I'm grateful for what's going on in my life. You ever met somebody who you say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And they give you a laundry list of all the things that they're miserable about?
Yeah.
And then you have the girlfriends who are like, "Listen, these things are a journey right now, but they won't work because I have God's faith. I walk in his divine guidance."
Hmm.
And so I think it's important to have girlfriends that can receive and give that, who can recognize the necessity of gratitude,
Mhm.
and who are strong for you even when you can't be strong for yourself, which allows you to pursue and continue on into the lifestyle and direction or path that you're set out for,
That's right.
if that makes
That's,
sense.
no,
It's
that makes
beautiful.
perfect good sense. Adrian, what were you about to say as we wrap this up? Because
It's just like, man, it's the alignment is just, I can't say it's amazing. I should expect it because that's just what God does, right? As you're
yes.
talking, I'm thinking about Moses and this journey, right?
Hmm.
And I think about how when he got tired, they put a
Hmm.
stone under him for him to
Hmm.
sit down. That's
That's
what
right.
we do for one another.
Yeah.
In the
Well
heat of the
said.
battle, Aaron and her were there to lift his
It's
arms,
on.
right? And the
That's right.
word says they held it there until sunset, right?
That's right.
So that's what we do for one another. We hold each other's arms up during the battle until we
Mm-hmm.
can get through the end of that day. And then we rise the next day to kick this world in its tail, right?
That's right. That's
And
right.
Amen.
do it all over again. And that's the beautiful and amazing piece about it. And I think what we've done so beautifully is what we're doing is as we have engagements and we meet people and we have different interactions and we explore new possibilities for for friendships and just enjoying humanity, this beautiful divine feminine right connection that we have. We are learning, you said it, how to give people limited access to us,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
Because we are trying to be our best and highest version of ourselves. And I think that courage, the courage that it takes to do that, is something that comes over time. And that thing, boy, when that 50 comes, it gets it's just
Game
something,
changer.
Listen,
something magical happens.
something magical
It's
happens. That
something
feeling.
magical happens. And
Yes.
I like to say, my give a damn got broke. Like I just stopped giving
That
a
part.
love. Love is broke.
Love.
Because I gave too much time and energy and resources and too much of myself to the point where I became someone I did not recognize,
That's
right?
right.
I call it the chameleon spirit, like always changing and morphing and trying and looking for affirmation and validation. And is it okay? Do you like it? You like me? It's like I wanted to be at the cool kids table in high
Right.
school, right? I'm too grown for that now. I'm too grown, right? Those days are gone. So when I think about being the best and highest version of myself, I think it's so beautiful that we get to do this together. We get to
Yes.
walk this walk together. We get
Yes.
to, we get to hold each other's arms up. We get to pull the chair in for us when we need to. I think it's just a beautiful and amazing place to be in. And I think the more we can share, Martha, thank you for sharing on this platform. So that the word can get out, because I believe this is going to be an entry point for a lot of women, that
Yes.
this may be the first time they've heard women talk like this.
Yeah.
And so my prayer is that they are in a position to receive. Because I always say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, right?
Yeah.
So I believe there are lots of women that are ripe and ready for this kind of amazing experience and this beautiful love and fellowship that we share and have for one another. And so I'm just, again, grateful. So grateful that we get to do it together, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you in that space. And before we go and before I close out, Maisha, share one thing you want women to take away from tonight.
I would say recognize that your greatness in your individual lives, it stems from the support that you build around you. And that, when people think that again, they see your glory and don't know your story, it's because those hidden figures
Mm-hmm.
are the women of genuineness, of love, of support. And there's nothing greater than reaching your success, knowing that you have a gang of gorgeous ladies to
That's right.
support you. So I think that it's important for women to understand that you really don't have to walk alone. You just
Right.
got to be very particular about who you build around you.
That's
That
right.
because that can make or break your success. Putting the wrong people in place can be detrimental. Putting the right people in place can change you exponentially.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Adrian, one thing women should take away from tonight.
I think first things first, and it's always you first, right? So it
Right.
may be, it's going to look different than anybody else. So only allow yourself to be the standard. You can look to other women for inspiration and for advice. No, I don't like to say advice, for information,
Hmm.
but you are the standard, right? And don't lower your standard for to accommodate lack in any area of your life. You are worth the fight, whether it's you declare your emancipation and you're done and you're out, or it's a gradual thing. You do what works for the best and highest version of you at that time, right? Whatever that iteration looks like of you, but give yourself permission and be free enough to do that because you're worth it.
That's right. You are worth the investment, and you are truly worth what you want out there. There's no need to apologize for it. And so, as we conclude, I want to thank you, ladies, because we are very busy women. We are about our business,
Hmm.
but we are truly about each other in this space. And I thank you because I don't take your time lightly. I got a chance to spend 51 minutes with some of my most amazing girlfriends, and we did it intentionally tonight so that women can truly understand, especially women of color, that relationships exist in this form of fashion. Everyone there is not in your space to tear you down or to break you down,
That's
but they
right.
are really there to uplift you, stretch you, strengthen you, and
Hmm.
support you in these spaces. But you must be willing to hold space to receive those things, even when you do not know where those relationships may be going because of hurt from the past. So I'm challenging you, ladies, tonight. Let go of the hurt and allow and open your heart to growth and allow relationships to be able to cultivate in those spaces. Ladies, we're going to do more. We're going to come back and do more. Be on the lookout for things that are truly going to happen in this space. You'll get a little bit more energy from Martha, a little great music when we're around. You will truly understand that what you see from me is what you get. I don't change for anyone. I know who I am and whose I am, so I stand in that strength. But my job, Adrian's job, Maisha's job in this space is to equip, inspire, motivate, and empower career driven, high achieving, entrepreneurial minded, grown ass women to always remember to reset, recharge, refocus, but more than anything else, remember her. So as you're going through the rest of your evening, spend some time with yourself.
Yeah.
Really take inventory of your relationships and those who are around you. And be okay if they do not add and multiply your life and they are subtracting and dividing. Push the elevator button to open and allow them to get off, and be okay with those who are getting off so that God can bless you with those you need in your space and allow them to come on. So, ladies, it has been wonderful, absolutely amazing. Sissy, Tracy, T, my beautiful, precious princess, Joelle, Bishop,
Yes.
Jamore, and all of those who are out there who joined in. Do me a favor, share this with your friends. Share
Yes.
this with your friends and leave me comments. Leave us comments, and we promise that we will answer them. Ladies, be blessed. You have a great one, and
You
we'll see
too.
you later. So I'm going to
Good
stop
night, y'all.